Come follow the brick wall. It's your girl Eva K, and I'm ready to eat. Hey, who ready to eat with me? Who ready to come bread with me? Let's break bread. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. We about to eat this food and get fed. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. Now bow your head, hey, cause we gotta say the grace, cause we about to eat. We about to eat. I can't wait to eat. Let's eat, big girls. Are you ready to eat? Come eat with me and let's talk. I want to get all in your business. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? I'm ready to laugh and I'm ready to play. Come on and break bread with your girl Eva K. Let's break bread. Hey, guess who I got today? Hey, DeVante.
What's going on? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. Can't complain. Thankful to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you came, honey. I've been wanting to get you on since the beginning.
No, we done had a couple conversations, so I'm glad we was able to link in.
Yes, look, I'm about to tell y'all what we're going to eat, and then we're going to get into it, because, you know, we got a lot to talk about today. We probably go over our 30 minutes, honey, because it's a whole lot the parents want to know, I want to know. So today, our food was sponsored by Miss Janae Anderson, Miss Sarah Carmichael, and Mr. Aki. We have, I have salmon, sweet potatoes, asparagus, and then DeVante got salmon. You got the loaded baked potato and asparagus and the side salad.
Yes.
So let's say our grace and get it in. Now we thank you, for our food, Father God, we thank you. Father God, we thank you. Amen. Amen.
I be having to restrain myself, because like when I be watching you, I be on the other side like,
You got to teach that to the kids.
I will.
Listen, new idea, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So, DeVante, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, you know what I'm saying, about your company, your brand, all that?
Okay. My name is DeVante Sales. I'm an East Knoxville native and resident.
2800 made, by the way.
2800 made. Graduated from Austin East 2010. Was able to go to UT on an academic scholarship. I graduated from UT in 2015. I had a double major in political science and Africana studies. Originally, when I went to school, I wanted to be a lawyer. That's what was in my mind. But then I realized I didn't like courtrooms and all the drama that goes with that. And when I started taking Africana studies, I think my love for education came from self-education. I began to self-educate myself, and in the process, I started to like teaching.
Okay. So do you ever want to become a teacher?
They don't make enough money.
Okay.
So,
you like working for yourself?
Yeah, I like working for myself, and also being in control of like curriculums, you know, and also being able to foster relationships in a certain way. Also, when I was working at UT, it's crazy. I was working in the office of accounting. I was doing a work-study job, and I was making decent money, but I'm a creative person. Like, I don't really like offices, you know what I'm saying, like sitting at a desk. So I had started working there to start working at the Boys and Girls Club. And I took a pay cut, but it worked out in the end, because that's kind of where I really started honing in on my tutoring craft. Because up until that time, I think I was oblivious to the disparities in education.
Right.
Just in terms of like, there are students that do amazing. I think I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. And then there are some students that really struggle in school. And it wasn't until I started tutoring at the Boys and Girls Club that I was noticing, it's like, how can I help the student complete a homework sheet and they don't know how to read the directions? You know.
Because most of our students are reading at a 3rd grade level in the 8th and 9th grade.
And Knox County, they recently released something. It said they have a 13% reading proficiency for grades K through 9th grade. So the biggest thing also when I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, I realized you can't help a kid learn how to read by sitting down and doing their homework with them, or just by sitting down and reading a book with them. You gotta kind of figure out in terms of assessment, because I do assessment-based learning that's individualized to the kid. And I started coming up with my own methods. You know, I took it back to flashcards, phonetics, and I started realizing that there was this whole idea of standardized learning, there's no standardized way to teach kids because they're all individuals. They all learn different. They all have different aptitudes and emotions. Yeah. So once I started coming up with my own methods, it started working. And I was working at the Boys and Girls Club. And they were going to try to send me to another club. They didn't want to pay me no more money.
But you was in the projects, right? Because you was working at Western Heights.
I was working at the Western Heights ones. And I had a love for that community and my students. I really didn't want to leave because I had helped our club's overall grades to come up. And Boys and Girls Club basically just put me in a position where I quit because I felt like I was being undervalued.
Right. And you are, I don't know, when I look at you, because I remember you playing football. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was always good at sports. You could have went the sports route and you chose academics. And I feel like that's something our young boys need to see that, yeah, I might be good at sports. What did you get your senior district?
Yeah, I won all district.
You won all district. You know, they can see that I can be good at ball, but academics is where it's at. You know, you can't do nothing without the academic side of it. So after you left the Boys and Girls Club, you started tutoring, right? Because, I mean, your name is just everywhere.
Well, I was tutoring while I was at the Boys and Girls Club. And also, I worked at West High School for a year. As soon as I graduated, I worked there, 2015 to 2016. And I think that was a good experience for me because it showed me high school. And if they get to that level and they're not fundamentally sound, you're not going to be able to do too much for them. So working at the school, West High School for a year, it really exposed me to understanding you got to catch them early. You know, so for New ID, I do K through 8th grade because I try to get them as early as I can. Because not to say I don't work with high schoolers or not to say that, you know, they lost if they don't have that fundamental skill. It's just really hard. It's a lot tougher.
And by that time, they already got like these insecurities and they don't want to probably participate in class because their reading is not strong like their peers. Because I know even like when I went to college, it felt like everybody in the class already read like 5 chapters, like they already knew this stuff. And I always had to play catch up. So that can cause your grades to slip if you feel like you always got it. Because you're going to come in already feeling defeated.
Yeah, I feel you.
So how do you get enrolled into New ID? Like, are y'all still accepting people? And then let's talk about your homeschooling too, because I know that's...
Yes, right now I'm still accepting students. I just probably got like 3 slots left, so it's limited just in terms of the time slots I have, but I'll be accepting students pretty much as long as they don't take us back to phase 1. I'll be accepting the students.
So are you face to face with the students or are you doing it virtually?
I do both.
Okay.
So sometimes, you know, I might have a student that'll be there with me, and then I may the next hour do someone online. It just depends on the day.
So do you have people working with you or is it just you?
I have assistants.
Okay.
I have 2 assistants. One of them was actually one of my first students. He is 17 now, driving, so he was like one of my first students. I started tutoring him when he was in the 5th grade. He's in the 11th grade now, and he worked for me. And then I have another assistant, Aya. She's a graduate student at UT.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with your homeschooling? Because I see you posted some homeschooling stuff that you was going to roll out this week.
So with what I'm trying to do with the virtual homeschooling is basically operate New ID kind of as a co-op because I'm not in an accredited school, so parents will have to first fill out the application, submit the application on the Knox County School website, and you got to make sure that your kid has been identified as a homeschool kid because the parents have to take the attendance. They have to also write down how often they work with them. But I'm basically doing all the work, just in terms of the curriculum, you know, and the teaching. They will have some stuff that they're going to do at home. And I'll have folders for my students. I'm still coming up with the structure for it, but I want to have folders. The parents come and pick them up bi-weekly, and that's what they'll work on while we're actually doing the tutoring virtually. And basically what I want to do is try to help, say, 15 to 20 kids. And the thing about it is you just got to make sure that it's going to be conducive to your schedule. Right. You know, because just like I was having to explain to a parent, I can't homeschool your kid if you sign up for the Knox County School virtual tutor. Does that make sense?
Okay,
They have to be
I'm
identified.
confused
They
by
have
the
to be
virtual.
identified as a homeschool student.
Homeschool, okay.
Yes.
Versus the virtual learning.
Which is being done by the Knox County school system.
Oh, okay. So that's the problem. This is what I think a lot of people are getting confused about, because it's actually 3 different things and not 2 different things. Because you have in school, then you have virtual learning, and then you have homeschooling. So it's 3 different things, right? Because virtual and homeschool is 2 totally different things. Even though virtual learning, you're going to be at home doing it with your students, it's still not considered homeschool.
I understand what you're saying. Because it's going to be done by Knox County.
By Knox County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because homeschooling, you have your own different curriculum.
And then it's different, and just like I was explaining, there are different organizations you can use, like K through 12 learning, Shore Foundation. Also, they will be doing some homeschooling things. So it just depends on, you got to really, well, parents, they have to figure out what's going to be best and what's going to be actually rational and conducive to your schedule. You know, like for instance, if parents don't have somebody that can watch the kid, I don't see how they're going to be able to do virtual homeschooling or Knox County virtual schooling. It's probably, they might have to go to school. So that's something else I've been having to kind of realize is it's going to depend on the people's situation. You get what I mean? And you got to figure out what's best for you. Because I know with this COVID, it's dangerous. You know, people are getting sick. I understand. But then people got to make a living.
Yeah,
you
people
know?
are being very judgmental right now.
Yeah, and I hate that, you know, because everybody's situations are different. You know, I don't have any kids, so you know, like this is, I'm coming from a standpoint. I just want to do what I can to help.
Right.
But I think it's very important for people to be mindful. You know, people work. You know, also you can't just put a kid in front of a computer and think they're going to do that by themselves.
At all.
You know, so they got to have help. This is people, you know, a lot of people like the saying, like, it takes a village. This is one of the moments where it's really going to take a village.
Yes.
It's going to take all of us. Grandmamas, aunts, everybody going to have to do
it's making me nervous.
thing.
I was trying to explain it to my niece, like, okay, yeah, you're going to be at work and you expect your kids to do virtual learning, but I'm pretty sure since they're going to be considered Knox County students, they're still going to have to get up every morning, sign in at a certain time, have work done at a certain time. Like, everybody is learning.
And they are marking tardies, absences,
and
as
that's
well,
going to cause truancy officers to have to come knock on your door because your kid is not doing the virtual learning. Like, that's why when you said, like, I feel like this is perfect timing to have you on here, because it has to be broke down. Yes, it's 27 pages that has to be read on Knox County, but we have to read the things to understand it. You know, because I feel like Knox County's still trying to figure it out. All the parents is trying to figure it out. And we only got, 7 days to figure out.
Yeah, and then they didn't give people enough time to figure out what was going to be able to work for them. So that's another thing that I was kind of upset about, because parents should have been given more time to try to figure out what was going to be ideal for their situations. You know, because I know it's a lot of parents that don't necessarily want to send their kids to school because of the danger, but then they're not equipped. They don't feel equipped, or they don't have the confidence to homeschool them, and I understand that. I really do. Because it takes a certain level of patience. You gotta have skills, you know.
Even with the computers, like, I'm glad all the students get to get laptops, but what if they spill water on them? What if they,
I don't know.
You know, like, we're talking about, my son's going to be in kindergarten, and he's going to get issued.
He's still a baby.
A computer, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm so confused. That's why you are needed. We need you, brother. Like, I love you so much. I'm so glad, like, what you're doing, you're needed.
I appreciate that. So, with the homeschool, what I'm going to try to do is, it's going to be 3rd through 8th grade. I want to try to keep it 3 hours or less, because, to be honest, it's really hard, you know, for a kid to be in front of a TV screen trying to learn for 4 or 5 hours a day. So my plan is to do about 3 hours a day. I'm gonna have a group A, that'll be my 3rd through 4th grade group. I have a group B, it's my 5th and 6th, and then I have a group C, which will be 7th and 8th. From my schedule, from what I can remember, from 8 to 10 is my group A. From 10:15 to 12:15 is my group B, and then from 12:30 to 2:30 is my group C. And then that's how we're gonna do it Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. So, like, what is pricing when it comes to doing the homeschool?
So it's gonna be $100 a week. So like $400 a month.
So the $400 a month is going to get the curriculum that you set out. You're going to grade, and
I hope I did. I hope I explained it too. With the bonders, it's like I want parents to come and get them like on Sundays, and for people who are not in Knoxville or out of town, I have like a PDF option also where they can download it, but they'll have to print that off, or they'll have to use some type of smart iPad, because you know you can write on those. Maybe they have something where they can do that, but the biggest thing I'm trying to enforce is writing, because especially working with kids this summer when they miss so much schooling with this COVID, I was noticing how the handwriting had went down, you know, just the overall presentation, you know, it's almost like they're not putting a lot of energy into their work. And I be telling my students all the time, like presentation, rumination, like the type of work that you do, how your work looks is important, all those little things. So I'm gonna try my best to have bi-weekly folders that the parents can have access to online or pick up from me from my building.
Okay, so you actually have a building.
202 Randolph Street. It's in the old city.
So that's just your building where like the kids come and they do the learning and all that stuff?
So that's just for tutoring, because I just don't, it's too much of a liability issue to start a school right now. You know, so I just think it would be better to continue doing my tutoring and doing the virtual homeschool.
So with your virtual homeschool, like, do you require a whole lot of parent involvement?
I think this gonna be my first time doing it.
Yeah,
you know, because even with tutoring, we sign we sign an agreement. You know, the parents, they try to make sure their students do the homework, because my students have homework they have to do during the week. Make sure they practicing their stuff. So parents definitely are involved in the new ID program, but I think it's gonna be another level with the homeschool. Like even when I was saying they gotta make sure they submit the paperwork that identifies them as a homeschooler, and then it's the parents that have to make sure that they keep up with their dates that they're going to school and how many hours they're doing a day.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a team effort. And then another thing I want people to understand is like we can do this. You get what I'm saying? Like people are so dependent on the public school system, but it's not working. And I'm not the type of person to just demonize the public school system, because I think it's a dynamic. I think they're underfunded. They don't have the resources they need. They don't have as many teachers that they need, especially of color, for positive association. But I think this is an opportunity for us to try something new. You know,
this is a blessing.
It really, like COVID-19, it has been stressful, but then it's also been a blessing in disguise for a lot of creative and entrepreneurs if you're able to tap into the right stuff. You know, so I know it seems to be overwhelming right now, but we can do this. Even if you cannot afford tutoring or you cannot afford homeschool, call me. I make workbooks, I make textbooks, I can send you something, I can email you stuff. I want to help as many people as I can. I can't help everybody, but I understand my role in this, so I'm gonna do what I can.
That is awesome, because you don't hear many of our brothers out here talking like, you just make me mesmerized with how you speak.
I appreciate that.
And just the knowledge that you have about your craft and what you're doing, and trying to make sure that our students is learning.
Yeah, I think just over my lifetime, like I had some really good teachers. I had some really good people that. I didn't do this by myself. My parents didn't do it by themselves. I had people that guided me. So I be feeling like I have a responsibility, to share it. Because a lot of times, even with going to school and, being exposed to so much information, I felt a responsibility to my community to bring it back. Because if we all, when I say we, the people that have the opportunity to go to college, people that have the opportunity to make money, if everybody leave, what's going to be left? You're not going to have nothing. Even I wish Austin East was in better predicaments, the baby road runners. It's so much, just in terms of our community. I promise I'm going to do what I can to help.
So what are your thoughts about Austin East and, like, of course, the recent events with the Black Lives Matter and stuff like that? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, what do you think need to be changes happening?
I think the one thing, it was just a lapse in communication. You know, I think, I don't think anyone had malintentions. I just think it was a lapse in communication, and that's what caused the friction. Another thing is, I'm not saying it's not a big deal, like, cause that was beautiful, especially seeing the kids and just the acting itself. We just gotta make sure we forward thinking, you know, cause that was beautiful. Like, what's next? What we gonna do next? Like, cause I'm to the point to where, like, not with you. I'm glad we having this conversation, but I don't want to talk about it no more. It's there, that's done. Like, what we gonna do next? There's so much more stuff we need to be doing, and I think a lot of times people get caught up in the gossip. People get caught up in
the drama,
and it's like, it was a lot of people that was getting caught up in the drama. Y'all wasn't even there. Y'all wasn't even helping. You know, so my biggest thing is just trying to be positive and forward thinking. Like, let's figure out what we gonna do next, and we need each other. You know, we need Constance, we need Denzel, we need Evity, we all need each other.
Right.
So we all on the same team. We fighting the same fight.
So what's next for you? Like, where you see yourself in the next 5 years, or growing your business in the next 5 years?
To be honest, like, I want to have the biggest tutoring service in the world. I want tutoring to be accessible. I want tutoring to be something that's not a commodity for people with money. Like, tutoring should be accessible to all people. So that's another thing. It's like, as my business expands and as it grows, I never want it to be bigger than Knoxville or bigger than Chat or bigger than the urban community, because that's what I made this for. I made this to identify a need in our community. You know,
we don't have that.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, if there are people out there, if you have like some type of teaching background, or you have maybe wanted to start a tutoring service, hit me up, because I ain't have nobody. I just kind of had to learn as I went. So I would love to help people. Maybe start their own tutoring service, or figure out ways that you can get involved, you know, with different organizations, because like I said, we need each other. Like, we are all on the same team.
Because I was talking to Paulette about it, and I was like, well, do you remember having any tutors other than like the peer tutors in school? And she was like, no, you know, they used to have Silver Learning Center.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the only thing I could even think of.
And even me, like, so when I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, once I kind of, you know, start figuring out the need, you know, how many kids was behind, I start thinking, I'm like, okay, so like, what tutoring services are there, you know, within 10 miles of East Knoxville? You know, like, and I'm not talking about like after school homework help or reading a book. I'm talking about assessment-based, individualized learning. We don't have that.
No.
You know, and then I just got to a point to where I'm not about to keep complaining about it. You know, I feel like once I kind of thought back on my experience, you know, and just the opportunities that I had been given and the seeds that had been planted, it made the most sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing, starting my tutoring business, nothing felt more right. You know, like that felt the most right. I done did different stuff. I used to make music, you know, playing ball and stuff, but nothing gave me a sense of fulfillment, like being able to start something of my own and being able to genuinely help my community in the process.
It's your passion and your purpose.
At the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like Nip said, he was like, you know, find your passion or you wasting air. Like, I believe it. Like, I feel bad for people, you know what I'm saying? Because even when I was literally working 3 jobs to try to, like, put money into my business, literally I did that for like 2 years. It's like I didn't feel like it. I still feel like I do now. You know, like I had that sense of purpose. I didn't have a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? I was out here working my butt off, but I always could go back to that. So it's so important to have a passion about something. And I'm not saying it always has to be community oriented, but you gotta have something that levels you, something, you know, that you're fighting for or working towards every day.
So with your political background, do you not want to go like political sometime? You know, go that route eventually?
No, I don't really have any interest in politics. I promise you, like, I just know, like, I want to do this tutoring thing, but I want it to be big. Like I'm gonna have to, like, when people think of Sylvan Learning Center, that's how they're gonna think of New ID one day. You know, like I'm gonna have them here. I'm gonna have them in Chat, Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, Detroit. Like it's gonna be big. But like I said, I want it to be accessible to people, you know, who wouldn't have access to it if I didn't have these programs.
Facts. So where did the name come from? New ID.
So kind of with me, like I was telling you, I didn't plan on teaching. I didn't plan on teaching. I didn't plan on becoming a teacher, but I always stay true to myself. You know, even when I was working at that work-study job, like I hated it. You know, I was making like $15 an hour, like when I was like 20, 21, and which is decent. But I didn't like my job, and me knowing myself, I removed myself from that situation. And doing that, the intentions of trying to do something different allowed me to go to New ID. So I think when it's new intuitive, your intuition is that creativity. You know, that's that inner voice, like that, you know, is trying to propel you to be your best self, trying to help you to tap into parts of your best self. And I also think learning is like that. Like, kids are smart, you know. A lot of people, they give me credit, but I be trying to explain to them, like, I just helped bring it out of them. They had it the whole time.
Right.
So I think New ID is a combination of my journey to finding New ID and then kind of like my teaching philosophy. Because, like I say, kids are smart. They have the ability. You just got to have the right level of structure, you know, enthusiasm to help bring it out of them.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything else you want to talk about? Because, honey, you gave me a lot to think about because I'm trying to figure it out myself. Even though I'm going to be working in the school system, if I should do virtual, homeschool option, virtual option, or send my child to school.
If you have if your work schedule, how's your work schedule? Could your work schedule allow you to work with them during the day?
I'm going to be working from 8:30 to 3.
Okay, so it wouldn't. So that's the thing. It's like you can't force it because we live in America. It's a capitalist society, so we don't have the luxury of not working. Man. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't let somebody patronize you for, you know, doing what's best for your family. Like, do what's best for your family, and don't be scared to ask questions. It's people out here. It's a lot of different organizations and groups out here that'll help you. You just gotta be willing, you know, to go out and help. I'm gonna help as many people as I can. Look up Shora Foundation, Unique Academy.
You're unique, Shora. I think Black Coffee is helping.
I think Black Coffee is doing
Black
something.
Coffee is also helping.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, Tanika Harper. She is the founder of Shora Foundation. She having like a homeschool meeting tomorrow at 3:30. What's the name of that church?
Are we serious?
No.
Tanika and them are CEC.
CEC, I think.
Yeah, off of Boys Bridge.
Okay.
So that's what
maybe check them out.
So how can we find you? Like, if the parents want to look you up or to just, you got a website?
www.newidtutoring.com. If you go on the website, it show you all my socials, Facebook, Instagram, and also you can leave messages, emails. I'm not hard to get in contact with. And I promise you, if you've been messaging me like last week, give me a day or so. I'll be responding next week. I've really just been trying to figure out the structure of this homeschool and just trying to make sure that it's right, because I'm kind of like, if I'm gonna do something, it gotta be right. I'm not just gonna do it and have people paying their money and it's not the best. You know, so I've been making sure I got the structure, getting the curriculum together, and just crossing my I's, dotting my T's. So you know what I'm saying, everything will be ready.
Well, thank y'all for coming to break bread. We will have him back, because y'all notice I didn't ask him nothing about his life. I'm gonna ask that off camera.
Oh.
Unless you want to answer some of that stuff, because look, we still got time.
What you want to know?
So I know you grew up in a two-parent household, right? So what is your thought on marriage? You thinking about marriage anytime soon? You got a girlfriend, Norbit?
I don't. I don't, man. To be honest, like within the last 2 years, I've been finding balance. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of relationships and stuff that I had, it just didn't work because I didn't understand balance. You know, you gotta work, then you gotta have play. So now I'm getting to a point to where, you know, I'm balancing. I'm definitely open to dating, but I'm not dating anybody right now. As far as marriage, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I'm against marriage, but for one, like, I'm not getting no license. Nobody got to give me no license to tell me I can be with somebody. It's just my views. I don't know. Maybe.
What about kids? You passionate with kids.
But then it's like I was reading something. This lady was like, she's like, it's some people's job, you know, like to have kids and have families, and then some of us protect and help out people with families. You get what I'm saying? It's like I had never really understood why I feel like that. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna have kids, but like having kids and being married was never like a goal of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I always have been like, man, I want to work for myself. I want to start my own business, and I want to make an impact. Like that means more to me than anything. You know, all that other stuff will come, you know, in due time.
Okay. Well, ladies, he's single. And he looking. And he fine. Thank you, Jabari, for letting us use your studio, BMA Studios. We love it over here. We love it here. And if y'all have any questions, I will drop all of his links in the comments below. Peace.
Peace out.